to hold us accountable. Today is all about receipts. It's all about saying what you think is going to happen this football season. Obviously, college football, we have a little bit of information now. You should be a better predictor than you were a week ago. And with the NFL starting tonight, let's see who knows ball. Let's see who knows. Let's see who can decipher and predict the best. If you all want to participate, feel free to send in your predictions at Donnelly Sports on Twitter. Also, we'll have YouTube videos up early on in the show. You can comment your predictions on those YouTubes or
YouTube live chat. Jump in.
Right now, our YouTube live stream, you can jump in the chat and send your predictions there. They come with timestamps, which means they are receipts, which means we will give you your credit if you get it correct. Throughout the show, predictions. Every different kind. Very specific, very broad. We're starting with some of the broad. We're gonna make two predictions in this opening segment. Both MVP. We have the most valuable player in the NFL, and we have the most valuable Panther for Carolina. We are making those predictions now, so we can check back in at the end of the year and see if we know ball. I will say this is one of my favorite picks every year. For some reason, I've been pretty good at it. We'll get to the ones that I'm not very good at as the show goes along. Most valuable player in the NFL. We'll start there, then we'll circle back to most valuable Panther. Should we go over the options or make? Here's what we'll do.
Okay.
We'll give our picks and then we'll explain how we got there.
Sure.
My most valuable player is Joe Burrow. Dennis, who is your most valuable player?
My most valuable player, Josh Allen.
Okay. Mahomes is kind of the obvious choice if you look online. The experts that are trying just to groupthink it, they go Patrick Mahomes. He's the betting favorite. I fear he's entering the territory of expectations being too high to win awards. Meaning he's got to throw for like 55 touchdowns to win a MVP because we're all too conditioned to him putting up 40 touchdowns and 10 interceptions and just being a number one seed.
Sometimes with that comes a little fatigue, and it's like, oh, he did the thing again. We've already seen him do it. It's like, but it's still outstanding.
The opposite side of that would be Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud.
Okay.
They're the ones that it's like they could throw for 30 touchdowns, and we'd go, oh, they're so young and exciting. I think they're each probably a year too early. Wouldn't be surprised if they put up really good numbers this year. Next year, they're on all the betting favorites to win the MVP. Mike Glennon, who we had on the show yesterday, we talked MVPs. He mentioned Josh Allen first. You brought up Josh Allen. I think that is a very good choice. What I think, though, is Joe Burrow kind of has it all, right? Because Josh Allen, what he has going for him in the MVP race is there ain't nobody else getting any credit for that offense.
Pretty much.
If that offense is good, we're heaping all the credit on Josh Allen. Unlike before where you go, well, it's Stephon Diggs. Well, it's Josh Allen. Joe Burrow has a very good supporting cast. Jamar Chase practicing again. It looks like he's going to play. T. Higgins. They brought in Zach Moss. They have some ability. But I don't think he's on a lot of radars because of the injury from last year. I'm a little concerned about the injury, but if he is healthy and he's playing like he was in 2021 and 2022, watch out for Joe Burrow. And then on top of that, 5 primetime games, I think that's important in an MVP race. It's hard to win an MVP from the 1 o'clock slate on Sunday. Just not enough people watching to build hype. So Joe Burrow with 5 primetime games, and most of his games, because of the division he plays in, will just be games that you, even if it's at 1 o'clock on Sunday, if it's Bengals Steelers, if it's Bengals Ravens, if it's Bengals Browns, it's at least in the multi-view. If you have multi-screens, you're having it on because it's a good game. So mine's Joe Burrow, yours Josh Allen. Put the receipts. If you have one you want to get to us, YouTube stream comments is where you can lock those in.
So the reason why I'm going Josh Allen to win MVP is because I think no Stephon Diggs. He still puts up over 4,000 yards and roughly 30 touchdowns passing. The guy's going to get it done a lot with his legs this season, in my opinion. It would not shock me if he's 800-plus yards rushing.
I don't know if he'll get that high in yards. I think he could have a lot of touchdowns.
I think is that as well. His highest in his career is 763, which he did in 2021. And he also had 6 rushing touchdowns that season, but last year he had 15 rushing touchdowns himself.
I think he could do something like that again.
And I think he puts up that numbers. I think he gets up to 800 yards rushing.
It's kind of the beauty for him and having James Cook as his number 1 running back. James Cook's really good pass catcher, really good between the 20s. They don't seem to trust him on the goal line, so they just give it to Josh Allen. He scores all the touchdowns.
That happens.
Some might call it a touchdown vulture. Let's go most valuable Panther. Different kind of MVP.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The answer is Bryce.
You're predicting that to be the case? Yeah.
Yeah. Most important, it has to be. Like it's a positional thing. There are not many teams out there that I think the quarterback wouldn't be the most valuable. But especially when you need the offense to improve the way it has, and you've given them all the new toys and everything. We talk about it enough. The answer has to be Bryce. So I thought actually, do you have a different answer here?
I was going to say Derrick Brown. Well, we'll get to Derrick Brown.
We'll get to Derrick Brown in a second. Which is a good answer. It's just coming from a different angle.
Sure.
I thought instead of debating all the ways that Bryce Young is important, because it's like, hey, he's the quarterback. Hey, you invested a ton in him. Hey, he has to get rid of the ball fast. Blah, 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 blah. We could just put him on the dog scale, the Dan Morgan dog scale. If you remember this offseason, there it is. If you remember this offseason, Dan Morgan, the GM, said he was looking for dogs. So we put together the dogometer, the dogometer, the Dan Morgan dog scale. There's 5 dogs up here, 5 breeds, going from what you might consider, a lap dog, maybe keep it in a pocketbook. You could take it on an airplane. Going all the way up to what you're looking for in a football player, which is the biggest, baddest bully on the block. Not crazy, not dangerous. They just know if something pops off, I'm feeling good about my chances. Let's reveal where Bryce Young is for those of you on YouTube. You'll get a little bit of a faster deal here. You'll get to hear it first. He's right in the middle. He's a golden retriever.
The golden retriever.
Awesome family dog. We'll play in the backyard. We'll also hang out on the couch.
Yep.
I think this season is going to be an interesting one for him. He could swing all the way up to German Shepherd. He could swing all the way up to the biggest, baddest bullies. And by the way, it's not necessarily just mean, right? I look at it almost as killer instinct. He might be the dude who you have a 3-point lead, defense gets you a turnover, 1-play drive, touchdown pass, killer instinct, smell blood, end it. That can get you all the way up to German Shepherd. But he also could be, he can go the other direction as well. And that's why he's so valuable, right? Because as he goes, this team is going to go. He did well in the few opportunities he had last year for the metaphorical kill shot. They weren't in many games, but the ones that they were in the final minutes, he did find a way to get the game-winning drives and the game-winning field goals as time expired. He had 2 game-winning field goals as time expired. So he has potential, but for right now in the Dan Morgan dogometer, the dog scale, I think he's appropriately a golden retriever.
And here's the thing. Highly coachable, well-trained, smart, doesn't get too excited, doesn't get too down, very calm. Here's the thing. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, no. There's obviously you would like him to be the biggest and baddest and best.
Sure.
But there's a lot of teams that have won a lot of games with golden retrievers.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds ridiculous to say out loud, but hey, we're leaning into the dogometer. There's a lot of games won by golden retrievers out there in the NFL, and I'm not talking Air Bud, golden receiver.